Hello guys, welcome back to another stream. So it is cloning Facebook. So today we are doing profile page. I named the folder profile page making, as you can see. So let's get started immediately because it's a really long code and it might take a while. So quick, let's make our boilerplate code. Boom, and give it a link with our style tag, just like that. And state, I think let's give the title profile page. Let's not overcomplicate anything. And here what I'm going to do is also give a link for our font awesome to use icons, just like that. And that should be it. So after that, let me just make it a little bigger so you guys can actually see. So now let's start with our header. So I'm gonna give a quick comment just like that. I'm gonna make a div with header, and inside div I'm gonna make div, and we'll have a class of header content, just like that. Inside this div, right? So here what I'm essentially doing is giving a so this is a actual header, for the actual content header, and this for the header content. So I'm gonna make inside this, I'm gonna make another div which will have a class of header left. So this will be the left side of the header. I'm gonna make a anchor tag with a class of Facebook logo, just like that, and this will have a href of that, and this will have a Facebook text. This will be just our logo, which will probably take to our homepage, but for now we don't have homepage because we are only making profile page, so it will not lead to anything else, just like that. Now after this anchor tag, what I'm gonna do is make another div here, right? I'm gonna make another div here saying so this will be a div with a class of search bar. So this will be our search bar. I'm making sure I'm not making any spelling mistake. This will be icon tag of, I'm just gonna copy the icon tag, just like that. This will be our search icon, just like that. And here I'm gonna do a input with a class type text and a placeholder of search Facebook, just like that. It should come out. It doesn't, which is extremely weird. There we go. I just need to hard refresh, and there's all of the things, right? Now here's the deal. Now we have done up until here, right? Now after this, what I'm going to do is do div, and this will have a class of header center. So this will be our different icons, right? We have also made these icons. So I'm just gonna copy everything. Actually, I'm not gonna copy. I'm just gonna copy one thing and just paste it multiple times. So here what I'm gonna do is make a div of class nav icon, and like that. Oops, nav icon. And this will also have another class that will be active, because I still want to style for the active. And here what I'm gonna do is I'm basically doing, actually a better way of doing this is just copy pasting it and changing this to home. So if I search this, there should be home logo. There you go, boom. Now what I can do is just copy paste this multiple times. In this case I have to do it 5 times. There'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's that. Now here what I can do is just change these, because essentially everything will be the same. Also cut these because I don't need it, because I'll only be styling for one, and that's it. And here what I'm doing is actually a better way of doing it is just taking that. I don't think it should make a difference anyway. So the second icon is users, and the third icon is a TV. Fourth icon is a store because it resembles marketplace, and the fourth icon is the Facebook gaming, so that'll be a gamepad. Boom, every single one of the icons actually appear in our web page, so that's good. That means we are doing everything correctly this time and not mess up anything. Hopefully we can keep that up, you know. So that's that. So that's the header center div. After that, we'll be making our header right div. So this will be our last header. What I'm gonna do is make a div class with header right, just like that. And inside this, I'm gonna make a button with a class of icon button. There you go. Just like that, it should be fine. So inside this, what I'm gonna do is copy one of the icon tags again and paste here, and this will be a button, right? So for that, this is basically your plus button. So I'm gonna make a plus. We'll style it. Don't worry, it looks like not good right now, but once we'll style it, it will look perfect. So that's that. So next is, I'm just gonna copy paste it. The next is the Facebook Messenger icon. So to do that, I'm just gonna do Facebook Messenger. I think it should pop up. It doesn't. It's weird. I have to. Oh, okay. That's not that. There you go. Okay, now it pops up. So here, what I'm gonna do is also give another. Actually, what I'm gonna do, actually, I can just paste that, change this to a bell because it will be a notification, and inside this, what I can do is give a div that has a class of notification badge, just like that. And inside this, I can give 2. So this will basically be our the thing, you know, that I have 2 notification. You see the 2 red symbols. I think we're gonna make that, so you don't have to worry about that. Another thing is the div. So div dot profile circle. So what I'm gonna do is, this will basically be our profile. So profile circle, and inside this I'm gonna do a JS, which will basically stand for John Smith, I think, because I basically took this random names and put it. So that's it. So that's our header, right? That's our header. So now for the profile content. So what I'm gonna do is, after this header finishes, so I'm gonna basically need to do is go here, and this will basically be that, and inside that, it's gonna format the document so it'll look cool, and I don't have to worry about any thing, just like that. So here, what I'm gonna do is give a div. First, I'll actually give a comment saying profile content, just like that. I'm gonna comment that out, and under this, I'm gonna give div dot profile content, just like that, right? Cool, very cool. And this will be our cover section. So this will basically be our cover page. Oops, I wanted to comment that, not write that. Under this, I'm gonna give a div that will have a class. I'm sorry, I cannot speak. They'll have a class of cover section. So this will be an image tag essentially, and do image. And here, this also have a class. So class will be cover photo, because again, it is our cover photo, right? It will have an alt of cover photo if it doesn't pop up. If you didn't know, cover alt is basically an attribute in image tag, which basically gets activated if the source of the image does not function properly. So there's our cover photo. Looks cool, right? Yeah, it's a big mountain. So that's that. I'm just gonna format the document one more time so it looks kind of neat and you guys can actually see what I'm writing. So under this, right, so this will have, I'm just making sure I just don't go past the divs, because sometimes I get confused between the divs. So here, what I'm gonna do is also give a div that will have a class of cover overlay. So these are basically the overlays that are present in the Facebook cover page, right? I'd also have a button of cover button, just like that. And inside this, I'm going to give an icon. So let me quickly copy paste this. Oops, wrong place. And this will basically be a camera. There you go. So I think it should be fine. And also give another text here. So this will be edit cover photo. This will basically be a button to edit cover photo, right? Just like that. Look, there you go. So that's that, right? So with that said, I think we should be good. This will be our profile content. And yeah, the thing about that is that should be fine. So I need to go here to check out the discover section. Here is the yes, and so here. Okay. So next is the profile header. So this will be a really big HTML structure here. So first one is div.class profile header. So this will be our first, right? Just like that. And div.class, it's not class, div.profile info, profile info, just like that. And under this, what I'm going to do is give an image tag, which will have a class of profile picture. This is basically essentially our profile picture, and other bunch of profile pictures we have to make it because you know, wherein sometimes under your profile picture there will be friends and they'll have a bunch of profile pictures stacked onto one another. That's what I'm gonna basically build here. So that's our that, which our class, and also give it a alt of profile picture. Just like that. And image source we'll just grab one of the image source I have. Okay, that's the common image source that I did have, so that's fine. I'm going to format the document one more time. And here, and inside this, profile, and that's that. And that should be done for the profile div, right? So another is I'm going to make a div here, which will have a class of profile details. Just like that. Under this profile details, what I'm going to do is make an h1 class, not class h1 tag, and which will have a class of profile name, and the name is again John Smith. And here what I'm going to do is make a div dot profile dash friends avatars. So that's it. So with that said, it should pop up just like that. Boom. So another thing is under this div profile avatars, I'm going to make a image tag, which will basically be one of the friends. Again, as I told you, I'll be making that. And I'm going to have a class of, let's say, friend avatar, I think. Did I spell that correctly? I guess I did. And also have a alt of friends, right? Or friend, whatever. And I'll basically select a source. So here, format my document. Okay, the friend sources did not work, but it's fine. Just acknowledge the fact that it's there. Okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make, I think, 5. So that's 1. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm gonna change the do that and then change the sources. Right, I'm gonna do that. Boom. The second source works, that's good. And I'm gonna do the same for the third source. Just like that. Okay, I kind of messed up there, but it's fine. Okay, so I was not supposed to do that. Okay, the fifth source also works. And I'm just gonna copy that. And also just paste it right there, just like that. And the last source is this. You could also download the photos normally if you want to. That is also an option. You can make a folder right here that says img or image, whatever, and do /image and your image name. That completely works. So after this div, which is our profile info, right? For profile, I meant the avatars. What I'm going to do is basically build the number of friends, right? If I do div dot and do profile friends and give us say 1,000 friends, just like that. So that's the text, and that's completely fine. So that is about our profile details. So if I go here and make sure that this is that, I'm just gonna format the document one more time. That's for that, and that profile. So that's profile details, right? So after the profile details, what I basically need to do is make another div, which will basically be the actions, right? If I do here and go to profile, I make another div and just class it as profile actions and give a button, which will have a class of action button and another class, but first we'll do that and give another class of primary button, just like that. And under this, I'll basically be making an icon tag. So let me just copy that. This will basically be a plus icon and do add to story. Okay, that works. I'm gonna copy that, and so these are basically the profile actions you can do. Just switch between your cover page, not switch between the change your cover page or profile picture. I think it is that. Okay, so it's basically that. I'll also do secondary here, and also change the this to pen, just like that, and do this edit, and add a text saying edit profile. And here what we can do is give a button, just like that, and give a class for the button saying action. Actually, I can do the same because it's the same. I can just copy this and paste here and clear this text and change the icon to chevron down, like that. There you go. So this will basically be our drop down, so it should be fine. So here is our profile icon. So this will be profile actions. So that is our entire profile info, essentially. So here, after the profile info, right? After the profile info, what we are basically have to do, what I'm gonna do here is this will also here. I'm gonna yeah, that should be fine. So under this div, I'm gonna make the our nav bar. So here, what I'm gonna do is give a class of a div of a profile nav, and inside this div, I'm basically gonna make our our nav bar for the about, friends, photos, videos, and all of this stuff. So this will have a class of profile nav items, just like that. And inside this, I'm gonna make a lot of divs saying div dot not class profile nav items, right? I'm gonna do that, and also give it a multiplier of probably 7. I don't know how many I need, to be honest. And 1 will be active to show that it is on the tab of that, but we can easily change it. To be fair, you should probably give it for all of these divs for the active part, but we don't have any sort of JavaScript or any other page that it should lead to. You can customize it from the JavaScript, so we'll just put 1 as active, just like that. And videos, check-ins, and the last one is more. There we go. This is essentially our nav bar. I'm gonna format the document one more time. Now for the main content div. So we are done with the nav bar. So here what I'm gonna do is here our profile header, right? So here what I'm gonna do is this is profile content. What I'm essentially doing is the profile content. So inside this, we'll make our main content. So here, this will be our profile content, right? Inside this, what I'm going to do is make our main content. Here we'll make a div that will have a class of main content. And inside this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a comment saying this is the main content, just like that. And inside this, I'm going to do is left sidebar. So this will be our left sidebar. It'll basically show a bunch of photos and qualifications and whatnot. Inside this, I'm going to do is make a div that will have a class of left sidebar. Inside this, I'm going to make a div that will have a class of sidebar card, just like that. And inside this, I'm going to make an h3 tag, which will have a class of sidebar title. This will have a intro. And after that, still inside this div, I'll make a div that will have a class of intro item. And inside this div, I'm going to make a icon tag. So let me quickly steal all the icons and paste them. So this is basically our briefcase. I'm going to put briefcase that should appear. There we go. So now I'm going to make another span tag saying, oops, how did I take a screenshot? What? I'm going to do software. So this is basically our details about the person. Pegport or whatever. There we go. So this is our intro item, right? So here what I can do is copy a bunch of these and start pasting them, right? So here this will be that, 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 and that. Okay, I think I pasted a little more, but bear with me here. So first one is that, and the second one is a cap, just like that. Okay, not that cap, but graduation cap. Okay, so this is our qualifications apparently, and you studied at Harvard University. There you go. And also give this a lives in San Diego. I think San Diego is California. Actually, I don't know. So I'm actually gonna put a but to be fair, it doesn't really matter, but like I still want it to be kind of a thing. So I'm just gonna put San Francisco, and I know for a fact that it's in California. So there we go. I also changed the icon, I forgot. So this will be a home logo. There we go. So another is the, so I'm gonna do marker alt, just like that. Sorry, another map marker alt. Oops, misspelled map. There you go. This will be our location for where the guy lives. And I'm just gonna do lives in San Francisco, California. Let me just copy that. Boom. And save that. And here for the actually wait, what? This will be that. We already meet that, no? Here what I'm gonna do is, you know what? I'm not gonna bother looking that up. So here, I mean, we can cut it. There we go. Okay. So this will be our home. So this is our, you know, work, qualification, where the guy lives. And next is from marker alt. So I was, but here I can change the content to saying from New York. New York. What? Okay. That's it. So next is the status about relationship, and we'll put it single because I'm single and I don't want the virtual person to be in a relationship and not be me. You know what I mean? I just feel lonely, guys. After that, I'm gonna do is joined March 2015. It's just a random number, and also change the icon to a calendar, just like that. Did that not change? It should change, you know. Did the calendar app not work, or what's happening here? Okay, apparently the calendar icon is not working, unless I just, no, it's correct. Okay. You know what? I'm not gonna even question why it's not working. Sometimes the actual icons do not work and it pisses me off. So, okay. This will be our edit details for that, you know, for all of these things. But obviously we cannot edit details. Okay, there you go. I'm so pissed the calendar icon is not working, but it should be exactly that though. It should work. Oh well. So here is our thing and we are done. This is the sidebar card, right? After the sidebar div, what I'm gonna do is make a photos for all of the photos. comment that. And here I'm going to make a div. I'm going to make a div right here, like that. I'm going to put some inline CSS here just because what I'm going to do is make a div, and inside this div, or inside this style, right? The first is display flex, another is justify content to be space between, and align items to be center, and margin bottom to be 16 pixels. This will be our photos for the photos, right? Here, what I'm gonna do is inside this div, I'm just gonna make an h3 tag, and this will also have a class of sidebar title and a style of margin bottom 0, just like that, and give a photos. Format the document, and here what I'm going to do is put a anchor tag, and inside this anchor tag what I'm going to do is put a ref because it will not lead to anything, and give it style of color I1 I1877F2, just like that, and give a text decoration of none, and also give a font weight of 600. Okay, just like that, it should be fine. And here in anchor tag, what I'm going to do is give see all photos, format the document, and boom, it should be fine. So that's it. So that's it for that. So here after this div, just like that, and I'm gonna give another div which will have a class of photos grid. I know it's a really long HTML. We might have to do this in 2 parts if the thing is too long. Do is go give a div.class photo item, and I'm gonna give a image of a thing, and I'll give a alt of photo. Let's just be essentially our just random photos. Just gonna copy that and paste in our source. Okay, that photo, and we're just seeing we're just reusing the same photo. Don't worry, we're not doing anything special. What I do here is go here and basically copy this a bunch of times. I'll just do it 6 times. 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm just not gonna change the thing because again, it doesn't really matter if you change it or not, right? So for the photos grid, what I'm gonna do is just change this. So this is our photos grid. Under this, what I'm gonna do is, so this is our sidebar card, right? Not okay. So this is our sidebar card. So give me a second here. Where is our photos grid then? This is our photos grid. This is our sidebar. Wait, what? Okay, so I may or may not have messed up the thing. So this should be above that. Give me a second, guys. Okay, I think, okay, so here I forgot to put another div of sidebar card. And here what I'm going to do is cut that and exactly paste it after that format or document. Okay, so that's that. And also the sidebar card should work as intended. And this will be our photo grid. Yeah, okay. So we have successfully rescued our almost ruined thing. That's good. That's a win. So here, what I'm essentially doing is photo grid, and this will be our sidebar card. Under the sidebar card is our friends. So I'm gonna make a comment called friends. And under this, I'm gonna do is div dot, we'll have a class of sidebar card, just like that. And inside this div, and I'm gonna essentially just copy all of those things. So basically these are basically this. Just gonna copy this div just like that. I copy that, paste it right here, and here I'm gonna change this to friends, and probably change that to see all friends. Okay, that's great. Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. So here is the actual thing again. That's finished. Okay. After this, what I'm gonna do is make a div. Right. This div will have a style. When I'm putting a bunch of inline CSS, so I don't forget. So here the text decoration will be none, and also have a font weight of 600, like that. I'm also putting some text saying see all friends. Did I just do that? Oh shit, okay, I just did. Oops. So what I was supposed to do was put div dot, and I'm just gonna, actually not this, I'm just gonna do just style tag saying color 656 76B, and the mosquitoes are really like screwing me up. Give me a second, guys. So font size will be 15 pixels, and also give a margin bottom of 12 pixels, just like that. Also give a friend numbers, let's say 1000 friends. Okay, that's good. Let me quickly test if it's working. Yeah. Oops, I was not supposed to do that. Almost nuked my entire code. So here after this I'm just gonna format the document really quick. Under this is our friend grid. I'm gonna make a div. I will have a class of friends grid. Under this, I'm gonna make individual items. So this will be the individual item for the friend, right? So here what I'm going to do is make a div that will have friend item, right? So I'm going to put a image tag which will have a alt of friend, and here as source I'm just gonna copy like that. Okay, I'm actually gonna copy a working source. Okay, this works. I'm just gonna copy this bunch of times. So to make it symmetrical, I'm just gonna do it 6 times. So this one, right? This 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, wait. Actually, I forgot to put the name. Okay, so what I'm gonna do again is also put a name. So here I'm gonna make a div that'll have a class of friend name, and let's say the first one is Sarah Johnson, again a random name. I'm just gonna copy this and paste it 6 times. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There you go. She doesn't look Sarah Johnson, but just assume she is, you know. For the good measure, I'm actually gonna change the name. So second one is Mike Chen. Third is Emily Davis. The fourth one is David Wilson. Fourth is Lisa Brown, and I'm going to change that to Tom Holland. I think it's okay. Hopefully I've spelled it right, but oh well. So that should be it. So I'm just gonna format the document so that it looks cool, and that should be it. So after everything here, our left sidebar should be done. So I'm just gonna go up and put our left sidebar. I'm dead on, okay. So here is okay. So this is our left sidebar, right? So this is our left sidebar, and yeah, that should be fine. So here, after that is the main content div. What I'm gonna do is put not main content. The next is the write content div. So I'm gonna do write content just like that. Oops. I'm gonna comment that. And here I'm gonna give a class of a div saying write content. Inside this, I'm gonna make a post composer, make a post, just like that. What I'm gonna do is give a div of a post composer. Right inside this, I'm gonna give div dot composer top, and give an image tag with also a class saying composer avatar. Here I'm going to do is your avatar, just like that, if in case the image does not load, and give a image, also format the document. Inside this, I'm also going to give a input tag saying there'll basically be a post making div. I'll do placeholder and do what's on your mind, John, because the name of the person is John, right? And here I'm going to give a class. I didn't give a class, right? Oops. I'm supposed to give a class that is composer input. There we go. Okay, that should be fine. That's composer top, right? I'm just gonna format the document again. That's for the composer top. And next is composer actions, right? What I'm gonna do is give a div composer actions. Here inside this div, what I'm gonna do is give a div another saying composer options. And inside this, I'm gonna give another div saying composer option, and another is photo. But inside this, what I'm going to do is give an icon tag. So I'm going to copy that and paste that. This is basically our image icon. And here, what I'm going to do is give a span saying photo dash video. There we go. So here is that, right? Now next is div dot. I'm going to give another option saying that. I'm just going to copy that actually. Essentially the same thing. But instead of off photo, I'm going to do is feeling. And images, I'm going to do a smile. And change this text to feeling slash activity. There we go. So with that said, I think it should be done with our right content. Composer. This right here is the thing. So after this is the post, right? So for the post, I'm going to make a div saying post. This will only be one post, and after that, we'll start styling our web page. Okay. So finally, after this whole HTML obnoxity, we can start doing CSS. You know. Make an image of that and just copy our source quickly. But before that, I'm going to give a John Smith. I also have a class for that saying post avatar to style it. Paste that, format the document. And after that, also give another div of post info just like that, and give a div of class post author, and which will necessarily be the post maker. I also give the another div saying post time. So this will basically say how long it's been since he posted the thing as normal social media. Let's say 6 hours ago. And another give an icon tag. I'm just gonna copy this icon, paste it right here, and change the smile to Globe Americas. This is essentially just a globe icon, as you can see. That's that. So after this is the post info. So after making this, I'm essentially making another button. So I'm gonna do a button dot. So I'm gonna make a class post menu. Inside this, I'm just gonna paste a icon saying ellipsis dot match. That's it. So that's just tree dot menu icon. And with that, I think we should be done with our thing. So that's our whole HTML structure. Now let's try to style it using CSS. So hopefully I have linked. I did have, so that's good. So let's start to style our CSS. What I'm gonna do is give margin 0. Just have to do the bare essential first, you know. Padding 0, and also have a box sizing of border box. There we go. Then after that, I'm going to do is give body a font family of C. There you go. That's the exact one I need. You give a background color of hashtag F0, F0, F2, and F5. So it basically be a kind of a white color palette, and I also give another one, C1, E, and 21. There we go. I think it applied. Okay. If you change it to white, you can see it have a kind of a grayish tint from pure white. So does that, and give a comment here saying header starts right here, and do dot header, which is our header div, right? What I do is give the background, so give the background to pure white. So this basically just F's, and also give a border bottom of 1 pixel solid BADDE1. So that's that. Also give a padding of 0 and 16 pixels. Also give a position of fixed. Also give a top 0, left 0, right 0, and a z index of 1000, so make sure it always stays at the top. Also give a height of 56 pixels. There we go. Right? This is our header. Now we'll style our header content. So what I'm going to do is display, you cannot see that. I'll do display flex, also do align item center, and also do justify content center, and also not center, do space between, and also do a max width of 1920 pixels because we are making for 1080p monitors or 1080p resolution, whatever you want to call it. And also given height of 100%. For margin auto to make sure it stays at the middle, 0 to auto. So that's that, right? So that's for the main thing for the header content. The next is header left. Here what I'm going to do is do display flex, and also scroll down a little so you guys can actually see, and also do align item center, and also give a gap of 8 pixels. Okay, boom. So here is that. Now next is Facebook logo. Do dot Facebook logo. Do it font size of 24 pixels, and also do a color of add 1877F2, just like that, and also do font weight bold and text decoration set to none, which basically erase this underline and make a Facebook logo, as you can see. Next is search bar. So here what I'm going to do is do display flex and do align items center, and also do a background of this, and a border radius of 50 pixels, and a padding of 8 pixels and 16 pixels. Do a margin left of 16 pixels. Also give a width of 240 pixels. There we go. So for the search bar input, right? What I'm going to do is give a border of none. Also give a outline of none. Give a background of none. Do flex 1. Give a margin left of 8 pixels. Also give a font size of 15 pixels. If you do that, it should be a clean little search bar. There we go. So here what I'm doing is for this icon right here, I'm just gonna, actually, clever idea, I'm just gonna copy that. Search bar I, so basically it's targeting the icon of the search bar div. So after that is, I'm just gonna do 6, 656, 7, 6, that's the hexadecimal code that matches with our search icon, search bar I mean. So that's for that, and I'll go next is header center. We have like 700 lines of CSS, so bear with me here, guys, and might as well hit the subscribe and the like the stream, you know, might as well do it, why not? So here I'll put a line set, I will align it to center and also give a gap of 8 pixels between there you go, boom, looks cool. Not in center, but we'll fix it, don't worry. Here for the nav icons, so individual styling, right? And what I'm going to do is give nav icon and also put that, I forgot. I'm going to give a width, I'm going to give a width of 40 pixels and give a height of 40 pixels. I'm also going to give a border radius of 8 pixels. I'm going to put it to display flex. I'm going to do align item center, specify content to center. I'm also going to give a color to 65676B. Also give I'm just saying if I put like, okay, the font size to 20 pixels. Also put the cursor to pointer. Also do a transition of background color 0.2 seconds. Boom. I do the full screen. Once we style this will perfectly be on the center, so don't worry. Okay. And for the navbar icon hovers, so we're basically styling it for the hover now. So here what I'm doing is background color, we'll set it to this. There you go. That works. Now for the active. So what I'm going to do is do this and do dot active and do color and put that, and also do border bottom and put it to 3 pixels solid that, and also give a border radius of 0. As you can see, it styled all 3 of these because technically it should be done like that, but not here. I'm just gonna these and put the top one, and now if I save that, now it looks normal and not have all 3 of these selected at the same time. After here is header right, do display, display flex, and border bottom is 3 pixel solid on the same color, the same Facebook color, and we'll do border radius of 0. Okay, header right. So the profile picture, right? I'm gonna do is do dot profile circle and do width will be 32 pixels. So basically be this profile circle. Height will be 32 pixels. Border radius will be 15% to make it a perfect circle. And here background will be set to this color, and also have a color white. I'm just gonna put more there so you can actually see it. And do display flex. I'm also gonna do align item center. Also gonna do justify content center. Also gonna do font weight, put it to bold. Also do a cursor pointer. There you go. So that is styled. Now for the individual icons, right? For notification badge, position will be absolute and give a top of -4 pixels, and right will be -4 pixels. Again, we'll have a background, a right color essentially. So I'm going to do E41, E3F, a kind of a reddish color. I mean, almost you can say it's a red color though. Color will be white, which is the text. Also have a border radius of 50% to make it a perfect circle again. And also have a width of 20 pixels. Also give a height of 20 pixels. I'm going to give a font size of 12 pixels. And also give a display flex property. And give a line item center. I also give justify content center. And lastly, I'm going to do font weight to bold. Okay. The thing is not positioned properly. That's weird. Okay, so here I think there is some issue. Give me a second, guys. I'm gonna quickly fix this. And do profile circle. This has, so this should be inside. Oh, okay, so this is inside relative to this header, right? Okay, I get it. Once we style the icons, then it should come back to normal somewhere. So if I do icon button, which are the individual buttons here, which haven't been styled yet, right? Now watch the magic. I'll do position relative and give a width of 40 pixels, height of 40 pixels. Also give a border radius. I'm gonna put it right there of, let's say, 50% again, obviously, and also give a background of the same color, this one right there. Give a border of none because these are buttons and we don't want border. Also give a cursor, a pointer. Do display flex and do align item center, and also do justify content center, and also do font size. I'm going to put it to 20 pixels. If I do that, and lastly the color will be 1C, 1E, 2, 1. But that's it. If we do that, then it should work just like that. Boom. Did I put the also icon? I think we need this. Yeah, there we go. I don't think we need this. What we need though is probably a gap, and do a gap of 8 pixels. There we go. I'll put that, and it looks just like a navbar, and it's also almost in the middle, as you can see. So we are styling we're getting there. We're getting there. We are 148 lines of code in. We just need more. And also gonna do format document, because why not? And now is the time for icon button, but this time is for hover. And I'm just gonna change the background to E4, E6, yeah. Boom. That should work. Boom. It does. And that's it. Now for the profile content div. Profile content. I'm gonna comment that, making sure I know where I'm at. Now is for profile content. So here, what I'm gonna do is put a margin top a 56 pixels. Also gonna put a max width of 1920 pixels, and I'm also gonna put margin left to auto. I'm just gonna put margin right to auto. Okay, there's that. Now for the cover section, or I'll just, oops, let's say this is for the cover photo. I'm just gonna put that, and inside this and do position relative. Position relative, backgrounds do white, and also give a border radius of 0.08 pixels, 8 pixels. Overflow will be hidden. There we go. We do that. So for the cover section, so that's that, and give dot cover, give a cover photo, right? So that's, we're starting the photo now. What we're gonna do is give a width of 100%, and also give a height of 348 pixels. Also give a object fit to cover, and do display block. And here what I'm going to do is put cover overlay. So I'm going to do cover overlay. I'm going to set that to position absolute, and also do bottom 16 pixels, and do right 16 pixels, and do display flex, and also do a gap of 8 pixels. If we do that, now we can see it slowly but surely coming in. Now for the cover button, do cover button. Here background, I'm gonna set it to RGBA, and set 255, 255, 255, which will basically be red, and this will have opacity of 0.9. Boom, and do border none. Also give a padding of 8 pixels and 16 pixels. Also give a border radius of 6 pixels. So border radius of 6 pixels, and also give a font size of 15 pixels. Also give a font weight of 600, and also give a cursor or pointer, and do display flex, and also give align items center. Do that. Also give a gap of 6 pixels. Okay. The cover photo is styled, as you can see. Not photo, cover button is styled. That's what I meant. Next for the cover button, but for hover. So Here, what I'm going to do is just essentially just change the background to the same thing, but I'll change the opacity. So what I'm essentially doing is changing this to 1. There you go. See a slight hover animation. What I can do again is give a transition to saying background 0.2 seconds. If I do that, it should do, there you go. Now for the profile header. So I'm gonna put a quick comment saying profile header. So here I'm just gonna call the profile header div, and here give a background of white, also give a border radius of 0.08 pixels and 8 pixels. Also give a padding of 0.16 pixels and 16 pixels. Also give a box shadow of 0.1 pixel, 2 pixels, RGBA 0.1. There we go. Profile header. That's that, right? So here what I'm going to do is give a profile info. Here what I'm going to do is do display flex and also do align items to flex end. And also do a gap of 16 pixels and also give a margin top of negative 84 pixels. Also give a margin bottom of 16 pixels. Boom. Okay, so that should be it. Next is profile picture. Oops. Okay, first we'll type that out and put a dot in front of it. So like that. And give a width of 168 pixels. And height also 168 pixels. Also give a border radius of 50% because again we want it to be a perfect circle. Also give a border of 4 pixels, solid white. Its cursor, and also give a object fit of cover and also have a z index of 1000%. Okay, so that is styled, as you can see. It's slowly but surely coming to place, guys. Don't worry. Now for profile details, here what I'm gonna do is do flex 1 and do padding top to 100 pixels. There we go. That way we can see the name. Now here is next is profile name. What I'm gonna do is do font size 32 pixels and also give a font weight of bold. Also have a color of 1C1E21. Also have a margin bottom of 4 pixels. There we go. Now next is profile prints, right? So if I do a color, if I can give this, right? And inside this, what I'm going to do is give a font size. Give a font size of 15 pixels. Also give a margin bottom to 16 pixels. Just like that. Now for the actual avatars, what I'm going to do is give profile friends avatars. That was the class name. So we'll do display flex. Gap -8 pixels, and also do margin bottom to 8 pixels. Okay, there we go. Now for the individual friend avatar, I'm gonna do width, I'm gonna do 32 pixels. Height, I'm gonna do 32 pixels. Border radius, I'm gonna do 50%. I'm gonna do border 2 pixel solid white, and give margin left -8 pixels. Boom, that makes our that thing. Now for the dot friend avatar first child, there we go. A dot friend avatar first child, and do margin left to 0, just like that. Now for the profile actions, I'm gonna do profile actions. So I'm gonna do display flex, do gap of 8 pixels. Also give of align items to center. And there you go. So that's fine. That works. And next is dot action button. So these are the individual buttons, and give a padding of 8 pixels, 8 pixels and 16 pixels, and give a border radius of 6 pixels. I'm going to give a font size of 15 pixels, also give a font weight of 600, and also give a cursor to pointer. I also give a border of none, and display set to flex, align items to center, and a gap of 6 pixels. Boom, that is styled. Okay. What I'm going to do is search this 1000 and type 1000 friends. Okay. It is really coming together, so yeah. Here what I'm going to do is, after the action button, we have to style the primer button. Primer button is background set to this. And here I'm going to set the color to white. And here primary button dot hover, I'm going to change the white, not the background, to something else. Say 166 FE5. I forgot the hex color hashtag. Listen, it should be fine. There you go. Boom. Yep. You see that it gets a little darker. That's the hover effect. Now for the profile navigation, or profile nav bar, right? We have almost now for these things right here. Let's start to style those. We'll do profile nav. I'm just gonna do background to white. This is the border top 1 pixel solid DADD1. Padding set to 0 and 16 pixels. Also do overflow on X to auto. Boom. Now for the profile nav dot profile nav item, what I do is give a padding of 16 pixels and 0. Also give a font size of 600. Also give a color of this, and also give a cursor of pointer, and give a border bottom of 3 pixels solid transparent, and give a white space of now wrap. Okay, so that's that. And also I have to style for the main container, which is storing those divs, and that is items, just like that. I'm just going to copy here. This will have a basic flex property to, you know, just do, and we'll do gap 32 pixels and min width to max content. To do that, now it will work. Okay, boom. Now we have to set one of those things to active. So we'll do profile nav items dot active, and I'm gonna do color. I'm gonna do this. Do border bottom color and set it to that. There we go. Okay, that looks like a nav bar. That's good. We are almost halfway done. I know this is a lot of CSS, but profile are pretty hard to get it done, guys. So bear with me here. Here, background is set to that. And here what I'm going to do is give a border radius of 8 pixels. Now for the main content, that's done for the, now for all of these things, right? We'll style all of these. For the main content, what I'm going to do is do this. Oops, I forgot to select it. So it'll be main content, and I'll do display flex. Gap is 16 pixels. 16 pixels, and padding is 16 pixels. Also give max width of 1920 pixels, and also have a margin of 0 and auto. And boom, there we go. Now next is left sidebar. When I put a comment saying left sidebar, and I'm gonna select the class first. Let me just put it right there so you can see. No, not that much. Do that, and do left side bar, and do width 360 pixels. Also do flex shrink of 0. Okay. Now for the sidebar card, do is set the background to white. To give a border radius of 8 pixels. Also give a padding of 16 pixels. Also give a margin bottom of 16 pixels. Also give a box shadow of 0, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, RGBA, 0, 0, 0 and 0.1. Not RBGA, RGBA. There you go. Okay, so that's that. That works. Now next is intro title. Intro item, sorry. So what I'm going to do is give the intro item a display flex property. Also give align item center. Also give a gap of 12 pixels, and also give a margin bottom of 12 pixels. Next is intro item icons. So the intro item like that, and now I'm going to style that saying color, put that a native color, and also do font size of 16 pixels, also do width of 20 pixels. It's slowly coming in. Yep, it's definitely coming in. The sidebar, it kind of looks made, but we have to do a little bit more styling before we can say it's done. So after that is span, we'll do color, we'll do added 1C1E to 1. Also give a font size of 15 pixels. There we go. The span is done. Now for the edit details button, right? So that is this button right here. So here what I want to do is put it to top, so you can we'll do background, we'll set it to this, and also have border of none. Also give a padding of 8 pixels and 16 pixels. Also give a font size of 15 pixels, font weight of 600, and also give a cursor pointer and give width 100%, and also give a color with this. So, and also give a margin top 4 pixels. I don't think it needs it. You know what? I'm just gonna cut it. I don't need it. It looks fine how the weight is, you know. So after the buttons, it's for hover, right? Now we'll do button. We'll paste that. We'll put it. We'll style it for hover. Well, again, as always, we'll just change the background color to something E4, E, and E6 and E8. There you go. It looks a little bit darker, and that's what we want. Now, after hover is the photos grid. We are halfway done, I'm pretty sure. So that's great. We'll do display grid to put all of these pictures. We will use grid, so we'll do display grid, and the grid template columns will do repeat 3, F1R. 1FR, sorry. There we go. We'll style it even more, and we'll do gap 2 pixels. We'll do margin bottom to 12 pixels. Okay. So it kind of looks, that's great. Now for the photo item. Oops. Okay. There we go. Now for the photo item. What I'm going to do is to aspect ratio to 1. I'm going to do border radius to 8 pixels. I'm also going to do overflow to hidden. Now if you do that, it will perfectly sit on into that. There we go. That's what we want. Now for the individual styling of the photo item, IMG, what I'm going to do is do width 100%, height 100%, and do object fit to cover. There we go. Now our left sidebar is almost done. We have to style this and we're done, which will be our friends. So that's what we're exactly doing next, which next is friend grid, right? I'm gonna do friend, and we'll do friend grid. Obviously, I'm just gonna copy this because we are basically just doing the exact same thing, right? We are not making any changes. We'll do display grid and we'll do the same thing here, but one thing is different, and that is gap is a little more, that is 8 pixels. Okay, now next for the friend item, and do that and put friend item and do text align center, just like that, and also have this and do friend item, right? And we do img and do is width 100%, do aspect ratio of 1, and also give a border radius of 8 pixels. I'm gonna do object fit to cover, and margin bottom to 4 pixels. Yeah, it looks bad, but you know, it's fine. Here, what I'm gonna do, give me a second, guys. It seems like this CSS property is not getting applied. What was the name then? Friend Red, I think it was called. What, friends? Friend? Oh, okay, so I did spelling mistakes. So if I do that, then it should be fine. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's good. If it works, then that's fine. Okay, with that said, that should be fine. And now let's move on to that. Okay, it seems like this CSS property is not getting applied, so let me quickly debug. Do friend grid. It does. Oh, it's friends grid. Oh my god, another spelling mistake. Okay, so that works. That's great. Now for the last, I'm just gonna do friend name, which is the text. I'm gonna do font size 13 pixels. And do color, we're gonna put that. Also do a font weight of 600. Boom. That should be fine. Now for the right content, right? I think we're almost done, hopefully. 300 lines more. Bear with me, guys, bear with me. What I'm gonna do is write content, right? There we go. I'm gonna do write content and do flex 1. After that is the post composer. Here I'm gonna do background. I'm gonna do white. Also do padding of 16 pixels. Also do margin bottom of 16 pixels. Also do a box shadow of 0, 1 pixels, 2 pixels, RGBA. what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do the same thing. Did that work? Kinda did. I think the color didn't though. That's fine. I picked that. Next for the composer top, right? We'll do display flex. What I'm gonna do is do align items center. I also do a gap of 12 pixels. Also do margin bottom of 12 pixels. Yep. There you go. So that's that. We're almost done with everything. Yeah, it looks like everything works. There we go. Now for the after the composer top is the composer avatar. Here what we're gonna do is give a width of 40 pixels and also give a height of 40 pixels, also give a border radius of 50%, also give a object fit to cover. Boom. That's our that. Now for the input, right? What I do is do composer input. That was the name of the class. What I'm gonna do is give flex to 1, background to this. Also give a border of none. Also give a border radius of 24 pixels. Also give a padding of 12 pixels and 16 pixels. Also give a font size of 16 pixels. Also give a outline of none. Now with that, it should be styled just like that. Now for the composer actions. We'll do display flex. What I do is to justify content space between. Also give align item center and also do padding top 12 pixels and also give a border top of 1 pixel. Oops. 1 pixel solid E4E, this one, E4E6EA, and boom, that should be fine. Now for the composer options, next is composer options, so we'll do composer options, or I think it's options for the actual container. We'll do display flex and do gap of 16 pixels. There we go. And for the composer option now, I'm not supposed to do that. Composer option. We'll do display flex and also do align item center and also give a gap of 8 pixels. Also have a padding of 8 pixels, 16 pixels. Also give a border radius of 6 pixels. Cursor set to pointer. Also give a font size of 15 pixels and also have a font weight of 600. Also have a color of this. And yeah, that should be fine. Now for the composer option hover. I'm going to format the document. Inside this, what I'm going to do is For the hover, I'm just gonna change the background. Obviously, for the background, I'm just gonna change it to something for white. Here you go. That is that. Now for the composer option dot photo. Just like that. I'm going to change the color to 445BD62. There we go. And for the feeling, I'm going to change to something related to yellow, because it makes the most sense. I'm going to change it to F7B928. Okay, it's starting to actually almost look like a Facebook page, and that's what we want. Now last for the post, and we'll do few media queries and we should be done. Now we are almost end, so that's good. We'll do border radius, I will set to 8 pixels, and also do margin bottom 16 pixels. Also do box shadow to 0, 1 pixel, 2 pixel, and RGBA, and this one right there. There we go. So that's for the post. Now for the post header. For the post header, what I'm going to do is give a display flex, give a line item center, and also give a gap of 12 pixels. Also give a padding of 16 pixels with 16 pixels, and also a 0. With that, it should be done. Now to style our avatar or profile picture, we'll do post avatar. We'll do width 40 pixels. We'll do height 40 pixels. We'll do border radius 50%, and also give a object fit of cover. And with that, I think it should be done. Yes, it is. We'll do now for the post info, we'll just do flex 1, and we should be done. Here we go. Now for the post author, the text, right? And do a font size. So basically this is the name of the person who's giving the actual post. So that's that. We'll do font weight of that, and also give a color of near to black. This one, there we go. Now for the post time, right? I'll do post time font size of 13 pixels. Also do a color of that, and also have a display flex and a line item center, and also have a gap of 4 pixels. Boom. Okay, there we go. Now for the post menu, which is this button right there, we'll do post menu, and this is like that, and we'll do width, we'll give it 36 pixels, we'll give it height of 36 pixels, we'll give it border radius of 50%, and also give a background of none, border none, cursor to pointer, display flex, also line item center, justify content center, and a color of 65676B. Okay, that's it. Now for the hover, we'll do a quick background change. We'll do a quick background change to this. There we go. That should be fine. Do that. There you go. Boom. That looks like a post menu. and for the post content, right? But we don't have any content, but we'll still style it in case we in next video we put some style in. Okay. For the post content, I put the wrong thing, so it should be padding 12 pixels and 16 pixels. There we go. And also post text. Also give it a font size of 15 pixels. Also have a line height of 1.3. Also have a color of that, and also have a margin bottom of 12 pixels. Okay, that should be done. That should be fine. That's it. Okay, we are almost there. We're almost there, don't worry, we're almost there. And what is left is the media queries. So we'll do media, we'll do max width for 1024 pixels. What we'll do is do dot main content, we'll set to flex direction, we'll change the flex direction from row to column, obviously. And here what I'm going to do is also do a left sidebar. I'll set the width to 100% and the order to 2. So like that. That makes sense. Now for the right content, I will set the order of not orphans, order to 1. Okay, that's good. Now for the here, I'm just gonna copy this, paste that, cut that, and change this to 768 pixels. And do search bar to width 200 pixels. And also give the cover photo to be height 200 pixels. Also give the profile picture, profile, do we have profile picture here? I think I do. Profile picture to width 120 pixels, and also a height, a 120 pixels. There you go. If we do that, and then yeah. So that's there. There we go. That should be the post, but we don't have any posts. Because I didn't include any posts because video was already too long and I didn't want to make it even longer. And not the video stream. I'll do profile info and margin top. We'll do negative 60 pixels. We'll do profile details. We'll set it to padding top 60 pixels. And also type for the profile name, I'm going to change the font size to 24 pixels. Now with that said, it should be kind of styled, almost. There are a few flaws, but bear with me guys. The navbar is not that responsive because we could make a hamburger menu. But that is just a lot of work because that also includes JavaScript. But we are not using any JavaScript. So that's it. That's our Facebook profile page. It looks pretty dead on. It has few effects. There we go. And it's not that responsive because of the profile Okay, that's really bad. Oh my god. But oh well, not everything is perfect, and that's it for today's stream. If you enjoyed coding alongside with me or even watching me code, then hit the like button from the stream and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And with that said, I'll see you guys in another stream. Goodbye.